Right, so I've decided to take a step backwards and have a revisit of how to change an animation. Now, before I did it one way and said another way, so this way is just going to be a bit more straightforward. Hopefully you better follow it and hopefully it better work. Now, like before, there's things you're going to need. Nothing's really changed. You're going to need Blender, you're going to need Minecraft Dungeons, you're going to need ModKit Master, Python, um, import export scripts, and Notepad and Fmodel. So first things first, what I've done is I've made this folder on my desktop. This is where I'm going to be working from. Pretty much everything's going to go in there. Some things are out of here, but I'll explain along the way. So anyway, let's go into here. So in here I have the Dungeons ModKit Master. You need to download this. Link will be in the description. We need to unpack this or unzip it, extract it, whatever you want to call it. So I've extracted it and I've put it here. We go into it, we need to set up a few things. Now I'm pretty sure I've done a video on this before, but if anyone that's not watched it or doesn't know, I will run through it quickly now. So this has a series of tools and settings that we need to change. So first off, we need to change the package output. This is where it stores all your modded files once you've compiled them. So I'm literally going to store them here in the root of where I was. I've literally just copied the directory structure for that, put it there, and kept this bit here. So it will now put the mods as my mod, and it will be here. So I'm going to save that, close that down. Now the editor directory, so we need to find the path of WinRAR, Unreal Engine 4.223, I think it is, we have. So you should have Epic Games installed, load that up. Sometimes it takes an absolute age to load up. So here it is. You need to go Unreal Engine here, library, and then what I do is I go create shortcut. So it's added it to the desktop, which should be really handy, and it's put it here. Now there's probably an easier way to work it around, but this is what I do. I don't know why. I go properties on this, open file location, and this is what we need. We need this location of the Win64 version. We then overwrite that, save. So we're all set up here for the Dungeons ModKit Master, and we're ready to go. So the next thing that we're going to need to do is decide what animation we want to edit. Now before I done a sword, this time I'm going to do something a bit simpler. I'm going to do the walk or run animation. So we need to figure out where that is. Generally all the animations will be stored in one place. Some are other places, but we can find out where it is through Fmodel, or we can just go look through the exported directory structures. So for this, what I'm going to need to do is browse where I've exported all the files of the games. Now if you look here, and it's not there, so much stuff I've got, and not there, it's under exports. I've exported all these today, and these are all game files. Just in case there's something that gets removed or deleted, like the Curious Armor, then I may have it and can reintroduce it later on or do something with it. Unfortunately I don't have the Curious Armor, so I can't do that. But anyway, we are currently on 1.51.0.0, so I'm going to open that up. I'm going to go game, actors, characters, player, master. So for every animation you need to, every player animation at least, you need to tie it to the sk_player_master, and then generally speaking all the animations for the player master are in here. Now you will notice that there is some hammer walks, and there's a standard walk, so different weapons may have a different animation. The way that you can do this is by going into Fmodel. So we're going to go load up Fmodel now. I'm going to go back to here, I'm going to go tools, Fmodel is here, and I'm going to double click and load it up. Shouldn't take too long. If you haven't got Fmodel, you need to get it. It does really help. So here is the packs. I'm just going to load them up. I also done a tutorial on Fmodel, and I mean, I think it's not out of date, but there is a newer versions available all the time, but it should still work. So anyway, here's Dungeons here. I'm going to go content, and say we wanted to edit a weapon, for instance actors, and then we go equipment I'm looking for, melee weapon, axe, animation. So we go onto animations, we click assets, and it's got all these here. Now if we open them up, we can have a look and see what's actually in it. So this one just tells it that it's bound to the player master skeleton. So if we have a look at the first attack, we can see that it's got an animation reference. It's got an animation of player master axe combo. So that runs here, start time, end time, and then we've also got the sound here for it as well. Then we can double click on this one, and this one's got the same thing, player master sort of combo, but it runs from this time to this time. Then we can have a look at spin 3. This one goes on player master axe combo, and it starts from it starts from this time and ends at this time. So you can see what they reference. So these are just referencing this. It's also referencing this here, which is another animation, anime notified dungeons play sound. So this would be the attack spin 1 sound. Some of them have more than one animation, so you just got to be careful, but generally speaking you should be able to get it just from this and figuring out which one it is. So if we were going to go edit the axe, first off what I'd do is I would have a look at the animation for the axe combo. We're not doing that today, we're just going to go and do the run animation. So I already know that this is in actors, content, actors, characters, player, master, animation, and then it's somewhere down here, run I think it is. So we're going to go here, run. So we know where it is, and we need to load this into Blender. So I'm going to load up Blender. So what I've already done before and already showed you that I exported everything here, and this is where we're going to load it up. Now I believe that Fmodder, you could right click on it and you could export the data here if you wanted to. I don't do that. This is just for my reference, and the other one is actually where the files are kept. So there's Blender. I'm going to go Control A and then delete. So if you're loading up Blender for the first time, you're going to need to make sure that you've installed some scripts. Now I'll put the links again in the description. These scripts are under preferences here, and then I think it's PSA importer. So the one that I use is the import Unreal Skeleton Mesh PSK and then PSA 280. I think there's a 270 as well, but I think that had a few bugs in it and they released P80. There might be another version out now, I haven't looked. This one still works okay, so I would use the the 280 where you can, just because it works, and I'll show you. So anyway, you need to go import, and then you need to go skeleton mesh first, PSK. So we always need to import the mesh and then the animation on top of the mesh. So we're going to go here. We are then going to go and find where we were. So if you've got your export open, game, actors, equipment. It's not equipment, is it? It's characters, player, master. I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to paste this up here, print enter. And the first one you're going to want is this one here. So this is skplayer_master, yeah? See that? And I'm not going to scale it down. So I've taken scale down off. I don't like to scale it down, I like to leave it as raw as possible. I will scale it down on the export and it'll be absolutely fine. Right, so I'm going to import the PSK. You can see it comes really big, and we zoom out and we can see that there is a Minecraft character base right there. Let me make this a bit better for you to see. Right, that's better. Right, so there's the Minecraft matey. We're going to select it all. We're going to go file, we're going to go import, and we're going to go PSA the animation. Now if you go back down here, we have recent, and you can go master. The other one has disappeared now because we're not looking for a PSA, we're looking for a PSK. So we go on to animations, and here is, sorry, the other way around, we're looking for a PSA, not a PSK. So we need to find the run one. So run is here, and then we can leave all this, I believe. I'm just going to go import PSA. So this is all imported. Let me drag this timeline up, and we can see here that the animation is loaded in. So now we need to edit the animation before we export it, because obviously you've got ideas that you want to do something different, and we need to animate it. So hopefully you're probably more in tune with Blender and its animations than I am. I just seem to delete things and do very basic keyframe animation. So we make sure that's on. We need to go, not there, object mode to pose mode, so we can edit these and it will save it. We've just turned the key auto keying on, so it will remember what we moved to, and I'm literally just gonna make sure that that's the same. So I'm gonna highlight that, Control C. I'm over on this time frame. I'm gonna press Control V, and you can see because it's put that line there, there's no change in the animation. Yeah. So I'm just going to go to here, and I'm literally going to do something really stupid, and I'm going to pick this bone. I don't know what bone it is, and it's the hip. I'm going to rotate it. Don't want the hip, I want the spine. Right, so I'm going to rotate the spine, hold down control, and you get the nice little dialogue there. So I'm just going to rotate it 40 degrees. I'm going to move over to this one here, which is 5 frames more. Click this, Control C, Control V, so it goes back up to the top. Onto frame 15, I'm going to move him 40 forward. And then I'm also going to go here, I'm going to go on this one, Control C, Control V, and you can see here he's just bobbing up and down. Nothing special, it just is what it is. So let's do the legs. So the leg bones are here, leg. On here I'm going to make it go forward like that. I didn't even see how many degrees that was. 90 degrees. So as he goes back, and then on the 5th one he goes back up to the top, so I need to make sure I've got the right one, which is not that, it's this one here, and I'm going to rotate it back 90. I think you get the general gist, and you can spend a lot more time. That doesn't look right because I rotated the whole thing. So you're best off copying this one, Control V. Oh, maybe it was right, I don't know. It looks a bit forward. And then I'm going to animate this. So this one goes whoop, bomb. So let's put this one. Let's put this one like. Oh, let's just be really stupid. Let's do it 80. And then we go here, we copy that one, and Control V. So if we get both of these bones, we can then see that he's going up. So then we're going to need to do it the opposite way around, aren't we? So we'll highlight this, and then we go here. This one's got to go back 80, and then to 20, copy paste. And this one here has to go, let me see, so that goes forward, backwards, forward, 90 I believe the other one was, and then to here, copy paste. So we've done like that. Yeah, it looks like he's running a little bit. Yeah, you could also do the arms as well, but it's supposed to be a basic tutorial, not a full in-depth thing of animating. So that's down, so we don't need that one. We just need to copy these, go onto that, paste. So his legs should, both legs should be centered there. Yeah, that one's moving quite nicely. And then this one here, I just need to copy across. Yeah. And then we've got to try and do something for the last two, because this is the end frame where the animation should really end. So we need to do 1, 2, 3. We could sparse them out a little bit more. So or we could just chuck something in here and bring that one to the end quicker, but I'm not going to. So this was the dead scene, right? So let's copy that one, highlight that one, and copy that. Go here, Control CV, and they both come back out. And then they should. So it's going to be a bit longer on that one. It's not really going to matter. It's just for showing you. So you can see here that he is almost running. But we've also got to keep the spine because we haven't actually done the whole spine. And then that one goes back, and then so we need forward, backwards. So we need this one at 45. Yeah, that'll do. So that looks good. We've got our little animation in place. Like I said, you can spend a lot more time. I'm going to go back to object mode. Now there is a little bug in it where under the let's go back to edit mode. Under the bones here, when you export it into Unreal, it will have this here and then JRoot here. Now the problem with that is everything else that is referencing this skeleton that we're remaking doesn't have this up here. It has JRoot, so it's looking for that, and then that breaks, and your character breaks and it all falls to the floor, and you just can't see anything. He's going around like he's got no bones, and he's like a puddle of mush. Right, so anyway, let's sort that out. So what you're going to need to do is find this bone here, which is this one. I'm going to click it and I'm going to delete, but let's take note of it so it's capital J underscore capital R double O T. So copy that, sorry, highlight that, and then delete bones. Yeah, so I delete the bones, just got J hip now, and we just need to rename this to J underscore root. Hit enter, and then it's done. So therefore the J hip is still connected, and it will be connected under to J root. So the only reason you need to do this is if you're using a Blender export FBX standard. It comes with Blender, I believe. If you're using another one, then you're going to have to work out whether you're going to need to do that or not. I can't tell you that because I don't know which one you're using. So anyway, that's done. We're going to go File, we're going to go Export, and we're going to go as an FBX file. So we need to go back to our folder here. So I believe we've got the user settings, animation tutorial. I'm just going to chuck it in there because it's just be easier. And the name of it should be the name of the file that you've imported. So we imported, if we look here, we imported the player master here. So we're just going to go copy without file name and extension thing. I'm going to save it as this. You could save it as the weapon animation, it's entirely up to you, but you do as you feel. Right, so I've got presets set for the export, so I'm just going to click it and then I'm going to run through it. So we don't worry about selected objects or active collection. Whatever's in the scene is going to get exported. You shouldn't have anything else but what we've imported, so that's absolutely fine. Object types, we're going to export empties, we're going to export amateurs, mesh and other. We don't want the camera or the lamp. Scale is 0.01. That's because I didn't scale it down at the start. If you did, then you want a scale of 1. It's going to be all local to apply settings. It's going to be -Z forward for forward, and for up it's going to be Y up. You want to apply unit, you want to use space transforms. Under geometry, I've got face. You can play around with this if you want. You can do normals only, but I've got face. Apply modifiers, check, the rest here aren't. Under amateur, I've got Y, X, null, and I've also got only deform bones, nothing under add leaf bones. And I'm also baking the animation with all 4 here ticked at a sampling rate and a simplify at 1 and 1. So that is it. I mean, you can pause it, go off, have a look, and make sure your settings are the same. Right, I'm going to go and export now. So I've exported that. If we minimize that, we can see that we have got, it says, under the animation tutorial, we have got the FBX for the player animation. So now what we need to do is we need to load up Unreal Editor, I should say. Right, so we go into Dungeon Market Master, UE4 project, and it is this one here, not this one because this might load up something else. We want the Dungeon U project. So I'm going to go load it up. It takes a while. Sometimes it depends how much it's in your memory. What I like to do is highlight it and then click enter, because then I know I've done it. Sometimes you ever had it when you double click and you're not sure whether you've done it or not, then you double click it again, it loads to the bloody program up. So I'm going to sit and wait here, wait for that to do, and I'll catch you back in a bit. Right, so Unreal has just loaded up, or Unreal Editor has just loaded up. Sometimes it takes an age, like I said. If I had to close it down now, open it back up again, it wouldn't take too long because it's all in memory. Right, so anyway, we've got this here. I'm going to click this to show the panel because I prefer the panel and this like this. For some reason, under content, it always puts the decor. Now I'm going to leave that there, just ignore it for now. We need to build the folder structure of where we have to put the player SK master. So the best thing we can do is have a look in here, go folders, and we can see here where to build it. Now if we move this over here slightly, we have already got the content, so this is where we need to be. We need to be in the content. So content is here. So we need to make actors, we need to make characters, player, master, and animations. So what we're going to do is going to right click and we're going to go new folder, and then we're going to go here and we're going to go actors and then copy path. I mean, you can copy path, but it does put everything in and you could just really type it out. But if you're worried about spellings and stuff like that or typos, then just copy it and sort it out later on. So let me load up a notepad because this will probably be the easiest way. I'm going to paste this in here. So we want characters now. It's really annoying, double click it, it does it, highlights it. Characters, so we go into actors, we right click, we go new folder and we paste characters, go into this, back to one notepad, highlight players, new folder, players, and then master, same again, new folder, master. Within master, I believe there's animations. We didn't copy that, so we need to put animations in there. So copy path directory and highlight, and then we've got animations. So new folder, animations. So we're going to go back up to player here, so where, oh no, master, sorry. So we've got animations, and this is where you're going to want to drag in or drop in your recently exported FBX file from Blender. So I'm going to go back to my master here, not my master there, this one here. Going to go back to the root. Just going to shrink that down, put that there, minimize that. Right, so the player master is, sorry, sk player underscore a master FBX is here. I'm just going to drag that down into here. A pop-up box should arrive, and we can begin with the import process. So I believe it's generally all standard. There's just one thing that we need to change, I believe, but yours might be slightly different, I don't know. So we got these settings up here, which are absolutely fine. We've got these here and that. The only one we want to change is animation here, so we want to click import animation because that's what we're doing, we're changing animation, so we need to import it. And then it's animated time, that's what we wanted to go by because it just is. And I believe everything else is absolutely fine. So once you've done all that, make sure it's all correct. You can pause it, have a look. It's not a lot there. I mean, I can do the drop downs if you want, just in case yours is not default. But if you've done what I've done, it should be. Yeah, so there we go. So I am going to go and import all. Wait for it to import the mesh, the animation, the physics, everything. Right, so we've got 5 files here, but we only need 3. So we can delete this, which is the material. And then we can delete the physic, because we don't need the physic. So basically what we're doing here is recreating the files within Dungeons. It's the only way to mod really, is recreate, so you're overwriting, but you've changed it ever so slightly. So we have the player master here, SK player master, which is the skeletal mesh, which should, if I go here, should be this one here. And then we've got the player SK player master skeleton, which is not called SK master skeleton. So we need to change the name of this. So this one here we need to go copy, and then we get copy a file name without extension. So we go onto here, F2, paste, and that's changed. So that's the same player master skeleton. And then we need to do the animation and make sure the animation is the same name. So whatever animation you're doing, go to animations or wherever it's stored, and we were doing the run, I believe. So here, player master run. So we're going to go copy file name without extension, F2 that, and then enter it. So we've got our 3. Was that the wrong thing? Yeah, it was the wrong thing. What did someone tell me? Can't do it anyway. Just a bit annoying. Just redo that. So let me correct my error there. So this one here is copy. So this one here is the skeletal mesh, which needs to be named that one, which is the SK player master. And then the animation actually needs to be it, not the other one. So where was run? Copy without extension. This one here, run. So we've done all 3. So we've got the animation sequence, which is run. We've got the skeleton named correctly now, and we've got the player mesh, which is also named correctly. So the animation here, the player master run, or whatever you're doing, needs to go into animation. So just drag, drop, and click move here. So you can go here into animations. You can see it. Double click it if you want. Don't have to. And then you can quite happily see that our animation is working quite nicely. I mean, yours can be better than that, but hey. Right, so the next step is we need to add sockets to bones. Now this is the annoying side of it. I haven't found a quick way of doing it. You might know a quick way of adding bones and stuff, sockets to bones and things. But this is, yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare. It's not really, it's just a bit tedious. So anyway, we've got all these bones here, and you can see straight away that we've got JRoot up the top. That's because in Blender we changed this to JRoot here from the amateur name, and then we deleted the JRoot from here. So you need JRoot up the top here. Make sure you have it. If you don't, it's not going to work. Unfortunately, it's going to end up like a pancake on the floor. So anyway, what we need to do is we need to figure out what bones have sockets and what those socket names are, what the rotations and the locations are for these. Now I believe there is 12 in total that we need to add, and like I said, it's a bit tedious, but it doesn't take too long really, and it's a thing that has to be done. So we're going to go back to F model here, we're going to go to folders, we're going to go master, so that is content, characters, player, master, and we're going to find the skeleton. So this is the skeleton here. We're going to double click the skeleton, and on the right hand side you will see that it loads up with the details. Now I don't think I can make this happy. That doesn't come out, so it's all going to be a bit annoying, but let me move that there. So we can see we're at the top of the file. If I drag this over, right, so we're at the top of the file and we've got all these sockets to add. Now you need to take your time. It does, like I said, it takes a little bit of time. It's only 12, and once you reach here, type skeleton, player mask skeleton, we can stop. We're done. So we need to import all these sockets. So we've got a socket name there, and we've got bone name, which means that this socket lives on this bone. So it's quite easy to work out. So I'm going to search for that bone. This is the way I like to do it. And then I'm going to add this socket, so it's jr_weapon_socket onto the jr weapon. So we're going to right click on here, we are going to add socket. When that comes up, we're going to double click it and we're going to paste. Now sometimes when you click off or click onto it, it doesn't like to do it. It will remove it because it won't have J weapon in it. So if that happens, we can paste that and just get the socket. So we need to go to details, so make sure this is not on preview, it's on details, and then we get all the different things here. So we've got the name, we've got the bone name, we've got the relative location, relative rotation, scale. Scale should always be 1, unless you're doing something else. So we can see here that JR weapon socket has a relative location set to it, so we need to copy these XYZ values over to these XYZ values. It's not too hard, it's quite easy. So 0, 0, and then this one is 6, 1. So I'm going to put this here. What I could do is move this in, and then we can actually see and do both. Right, so that one there, this one's -6, and then I come down to the comma, which means it's all ended, so there is no other things we need to add, it's just this. So the next one we can move on to is J head. So we need a J head bone, we need to add a J head socket to it, so we're going to go add socket, double click the socket we've made, and then paste. Now I know that we come down, there's a comma, there's nothing else to add. So we've got J weapon, sorry, left hand weapon, so that's for your bow. Then we're going to add this socket to it, so I'm going to go add socket. Yeah. So I'm going to go off, I'm going to do these, take me 5 minutes maybe, not too long, and then I'll be back. Right, so as you can see here, hopefully I haven't missed any, and I've reached skeleton, player mask skeleton, which means I should have added them all. So if we cross off the search, we can go through and count them up, because we can see which ones are sockets. They've got like a little socket thing, or I like to think it looks like a speaker. It doesn't, but you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. They all look good. They're all done. We are done. So we're going to close that off because we don't need that anymore. We're back here to our main scene. Let me just drag that back over there. And you can see it's got a little star there. That means it hasn't been saved. So we need to go save all. Go save selected. And then it's all done, all dusted, and hopefully we should see this working in the game. But we need to get it in the game, and the only way we can get it in the game is by compiling it. So thankfully with Dungeons Modkit Master, this is what it enables us to do. So you do need Python installed 3.8 to run Dungeons Modkit Master scripts. We have the cook asset and we have the package. So what it does is it saves everything in here, because this is where the decors are. I'll let it live in there. You can delete it, I believe, if you want to. So actors, characters, player, master, and there is the skeleton, the master, and there's the animation that we've made. So it's all in there, it's all good, we just need to package it. Now, before you start doing this, I would advise to edit this out and type and put pause in it. You can save it, it's only a bat script, and then we are going to go and do the same thing with the next one down low. The reason for this is because once it's done, it will auto close, and if there's been any errors or anything you can't see, it just closes it. So with the pause, you need to press a key to close it or exit. So that's why I do that, so I can have a look and go, oh yeah, that's done, or oh, that's an error, and have a look what the error is. So what we need to do is, I like to go into here and I like to delete everything after content, so that's dungeons content, because that's where it's going to put it. It's going to put it in here when we cook, and then when we package it, it's going to put it here as the actual mod. So we're not far away now. Now the cook asset back can take a while. Sometimes it's instant, sometimes it's not. It just depends what's in memory and how good your PC is, I guess. Right, so we're going to double click and we're going to cook. You can see here it comes up with the screen here with the black background and the white text. So it's going through everything. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes it can take ages. Depends how big it is, what it's got to do, how much of it, how much is in the cache. Lots of different variables, but it shouldn't take too long. The first run will always be the most. I haven't run this today, so there we go. So we've exited, it says pressing the key to continue. 2 errors, it's about normal. It's probably some materials and things like that I didn't export. I didn't even give it a material because you don't need to. And we can now see, if we go back up here to dungeons content, we've got actors, characters, player, master, we've got our skeletal mesh and the SK player master, and under animations we've got our run. So if we go back to content, we've got this bloody decor thing that comes with it, lever. So I'm just going to go content, I'm just going to delete this. So that's gone. So next time we cook the assets, it will put it back. We can delete it out of Unreal if we really want to, but we're going to package it up now, and it will package just what's in there. So you go as quick as that. That was done. So that one doesn't take very long at all. So if we go back to the animation tutorial, we have got my mod, which is the mod that we have just made. So now we just got to put that into the game. So what we need to do is copy this or cut it. I like to cut it so I know it's gone, and then if I need to do it again, I know it's there and I know it's new. Or if it's not there, then I know I run into an error, so I'll cut that out. Depending on where your Minecraft is stored, depending on your version, depends where you need to put it, but once you find your game directory, it is generally always the same place. So I know my game directory is on my C drive. Some of them are also, they are encoded files. No, they're not. They're protected files within program data, or game data within program files. I can't quite remember. You need a PowerShell script to get that out and copy it all across to be able to mod. But in recent times, especially with the launcher, they've changed it, and now I think it lives under Xbox One because that's where it installs and does that. It's all a bit weird, but find out where it is. I believe there is a guide to setting up modding, so follow that, and we're all a bit at the same page. Right, so Xbox games, Minecraft Dungeons, content, dungeons, content packs, and then mods. Now if you haven't got this mods folder in here, just create it. So it's the little squiggly line and then the mods. So I've already got some mods in here. I'm going to paste that mod, which is my mod. Now I believe the mods run alphabetically, so the last mod alphabetically will be loaded and the main one used. So if you've got 2 mods that mod the same weapon, it would be the last one, I believe. Might have this wrong way around. The last one that will show, not the first one, or it might be the last one that doesn't show. I can't remember. It's one way round or another. So if you're doing a mod and it doesn't show anything, take all your mods out. Just have that one in, and then you'll be able to see if it works or not. So yeah, that's it. Then we can load up Minecraft Dungeons, and hopefully we see some funky running. So Dungeons is loading now. This was just meant to be a basic quick tutorial, just like the other one I did. And it's a little bit in depth because it has to be, because there's a lot to it really. Though it is quite simple. Once you've done it a few times, you'll be able to do it really easily. Right, let me look for this to load. I'm sure there's a mod to take these videos out, you know. Right, update. Right, here's my camp. So if you haven't rigged it correctly, you'll know straight away from loading the camp up that your player will be on the floor. It will be like upside down in a big ball of nothingness, or a weapon will be missing. So anyway, let's start the game and see if we run differently. So we are in Luminous Nights at the moment. If you did wonder why, it is a different lobby. It's not one that I've made. I was making one and then they brought this out and I thought, no, I just can't be bothered anymore. So anyway, there you go. I'm running and you can see that our animation, it's not seamless, unfortunately. I could go back and work it out so it is seamless, but I am running a bit stupid. Now, unfortunately with this is only you that are going to see it. No one else is going to see this because they use their local animations for you. They don't use your animations. You're the only one that can use your game files, if that makes sense. So any mods that you do are just your side, not generally anyone else's side, unless you give it to them, and then everyone will be running like this. So anyway, that is it. That is how you can change an animation within Minecraft Dungeons. Like I said, I've done it before, but I wanted to do it again because there was slight errors in the process of exporting, importing, and there is a file kicking around that you can use, but this is just as easy really. Once you get the hang of it, you're done. And the great thing about it is with Unreal, you can keep adding animations in here as long as you reference the right skeleton, and then you can have one mod file for lots of different animations. So anyway, that is it for now, and if you've got any questions, please ask, or any suggestions on what you want to mod or do or something, let me know. I can see what I can do, see what I can find out, come back to whoever it is and point you in the right direction, or make up another video on how to do things. Storage chest. Finally got some more storage, but you still can't sort or do stuff. Just does my head in. Hey, just what it is. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you've learned something from this. I don't know whether you've enjoyed it or not, but if you're here, you're probably wanting to mod and change the animation files or something. So thank you for watching. I will catch you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe and touch the bell thing just for when I do another video, and I will catch you again soon.